Hi friends, today let us discuss the treatment of goods lost by fire, theft, accidents, etc. in final accounts. The immediate effect of such loss is that it will reduce the cost of goods sold to that much extent. The further effect or effects depends upon whether the goods were insured or not. Let us see how it is to be taken in the final accounts. Very often, this particular item will be given as a piece of information that means as an adjustment. Let us study it with the help of an example. A trading concern during a particular year purchased the goods of rupees 2 lakhs, that is purchases, of which goods were lost due to abnormal reasons to the extent of rupees 25,000. That is goods lost by fire or by other abnormal incidents. It is very clear that the total goods purchased were not sold. So we have to find out what is the actual cost of goods sold. For the purpose, out of the total purchases of rupees 2 lakhs, we have to deduct the goods lost by fire or other incidents. Thereby, we will get the actual cost of goods sold. To have the impact of deduction of abnormal loss from purchasers, we know that that should be credited in the trading account. So, wherever in a question, if there is abnormal loss which is given in the adjustment, irrespective of further observation, the entire loss of goods should be credited in the trading account at the first instance. That means in this example, while drafting trading account, first of all, you have to debit the purchases of rupees 2 lakhs, from which we have to subtract rupees 25,000 represented by loss by fire. For the purpose, we have to credit that amount in the trading account. Goods lost by fire, rupees 25,000. If you balance this account now, it is very clear that the trading account is debited with rupees 1,75,000 representing the cost of goods sold. That's the first treatment. With respect to loss by fire, which is given in the adjustment. Thereafter, you have to examine whether the goods were insured or not. With a view to avoid loss of fire, theft, etc., very often the business unit will take insurance policies. If so, the loss due to such insurance will be covered by means of that insurance. So we have to examine whether the goods were insured or not. While analyzing the situation, you will face three situations. They are: the goods were not insured. First one, not insured. Second one, fully insured. Fully insured. Third one, partly insured. Partly insured. Here we have already seen that there is a loss of rupees 25,000 on account of abnormal situations. Let us assume that the goods were not insured. If so, that business unit suffers an actual loss of rupees 25,000 because the total goods lost by fire is rupees 25,000 and the goods were not insured and nothing is recovered from the insurance company. If so, the 25,000 represents an indirect loss to the organization that should be debited in the profit and loss account. That is, on the second part, that is P&L account, you have to write two goods lost by fire, rupees 25,000. That is the first instance. Take the second case, the goods were fully insured. That means we have purchased the goods of rupees 2 lakhs, of which rupees 25,000 is lost by fire, but the goods were insured and the full amount of loss is admitted by the insurance company as a claim. That implies that there is no real loss to the organization on account of this particular incident. How it is to be treated? Irrespective of the fact whether the goods are insured or not, the total loss must be credited in the trading account, as in the first case. That is, by goods lost by fire, rupees 25,000. For what purpose? With a view to arrive at the correct cost of goods are sold. We have credited rupees 25,000 in the trading account. Thereafter, we have to find out what is the actual loss to the organization. Here, goods lost is rupees 25,000. The full amount is admitted by the insurance company. That means there is no real loss to the organization. So, no need to take that item in the profit and loss account because nothing is lost. Though there is physical loss of rupees 25,000, it can be recovered from the insurance company. So, there is no actual loss. So, no need for any entry in the profit and loss account. Instead, how much amount is due from the insurance company? Any amount due from any party represents an asset. Therefore, this 25,000 must be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. Take the third case. The goods were lost, but the full amount is not admitted by the insurance company, that is party insured. Let us see the example. Suppose we made a purchase rupees 2 lakhs during a particular year and goods is lost to the tune of rupees 25,000, but the insurance company admitted a claim of rupees 15,000. Here the total loss is rupees 25,000, but the insurance company admitted a claim of rupees 15,000 only. Here also, without considering the fact whether the goods is insured or not, we have to credit the entire loss on the credit side of the trading account with a view to arrive at the real cost of goods are sold. That is trading account, debit side the total purchases, rupees 2 lakhs, by goods lost by fire, rupees 25,000, thereby we arrived at the correct cost of goods sold. Next we have to see whether there is any real loss to the organization. Here the goods lost is rupees 25,000, of which we can recover rupees 15,000 from the insurance company. That means the real loss to the organization is only rupees 10,000, which should be accounted in the profit and loss account. That is, in the profit and loss account, you can debit the goods lost rupees 10,000. Have you got that rupees 10,000? From the total loss we have deducted the amount which is submitted by the insurance company. That difference represents the actual loss. That actual loss is taken in the profit and loss account. Then, whatever amount is admitted by the insurance company, being an amount due from them, it represents assets, should be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. That is, On the balance sheet, we can write here insurance claim rupees 15,000. Very often, this particular item will be given as an adjustment. But sometimes, it may also be given in the trial balance. If this item appears in the trial balance, as we know, it should be taken only at one place. Suppose in the trial balance, there is an item, goods lost by fire, rupees 10,000. It means that amount is already deducted from purchases. That means the impact in decrease of cost of goods sold is already carried out. Therefore, it should be taken only on the debit side of the profit and loss account. And sometimes in the same trial balance there may be an item that is insurance claim rupees 5,000. That is debit balance. These two items represent debit balances. If this insurance claim appears on the debit column of the trial balance, it should be taken only on the asset side of the balance. I shall summarize. The discussion so far carried out today. We are dealing with loss of goods by fire or by any other abnormal incidents. That item may be given either in the adjustment or in the trial balance. Take the first case, it is given in the adjustment. In that case, we can see three different situations. They are the goods lost were not insured, the goods lost were fully insured, the goods lost were partly insured. In all these three cases, irrespective of the nature of insurance, we have to credit the total loss in the trading account. That means the total loss must be credited in the trading account in all these three situations. Then we have to see whether the goods is insured or not. The first case is the goods is not insured. If so, the entire loss of goods by fire is an indirect loss to the organization. Therefore, the total loss must be debited in the profit and loss account. Then in the second case, the goods is fully insured. In that case also, the total loss must be credited in the trading account. Then there is no real loss to the organization. So, no amount will be taken in the P&L account with respect to this particular item. But the amount of claim admitted by the insurance company should be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. Then take the third case, partly insured. In this case also, the total loss must be credited in the trading account, and the actual loss, that is the difference between the total loss and the claim admitted by the insurance company, must be debited in the profit and loss account. And finally, the claim admitted by the insurance company must be shown on the asset side of the balance sheet. Whenever the items like goods lost by fire, insurance claim, etc. appears in the trial balance, these items need to be taken only at one place in the final accounts. That is, in case of goods lost by fire appearing in the trial balance, it will be taken in the debit side of the P&L account. And when the insurance claim appears in the trial balance, it will be shown as an asset in the balance sheet. Thank you.